The story is only unraveling for me as to why it hit me so hard now. But in certainly the first few days and the first week of the invasion, I was so distraught. And I couldn't sleep, or if I did, I was having severe nightmares. I was crying uncontrollably. I couldn't believe it. And I thought to myself, well, why am I being so personal about it? I've been in war zones. I care about all people that are affected by living in a conflict zone. What's going on with you, you know? But then I came to realize that the reason why it hit me so hard was because I'm Ukrainian and I've spent time in war zones. So I understood what now the people I am related, like what my culture is, my background is going through. The people in my lineage, my heritage, my motherland, whatever you want to call it, they are actually experiencing these things that I have cared about very much and wanted to help disrupt. So it just really hit me hard. The other thing was that as someone who grew up being taught to say, you know, I'm Ukrainian Métis, and I was sort of trained, just the nature of our country, what happened. You know, my great-grandmother's an Elkhorn residential school survivor. So we were trained to not acknowledge our indigenous roots. And I was raised just knowing I'm Ukrainian. And I really took it for granted. I'm Ukrainian. Champion the indigenous side, champion the underdog. And then all of a sudden, here we are, and the war hits Ukraine. War has hit Ukraine. I mean, it just blindsided me, the whole thing. And I saw now an opportunity, I guess, to celebrate on a whole other level my heritage of being Ukrainian. And for me, you know what? My dad is closer to people who actually are still in the Ukraine, that we are related to. I am not, but I was raised Ukrainian. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the story of why I found a lot of sort of my helplessness shifting into, you know, being proactive by finding Unite with Ukraine, by partnering with Unite with Ukraine. And it just gave me an opportunity to come away from that just that despair and, you know, hear a call to action and just do something. So now I don't have to watch images and, you know, cry uncontrollably constantly. I mean, I'm obviously still, you know, very emotional, but now I can just do kind of my job. It's so hard that sometimes you just don't know which way to turn, you know. But I guess what it is that, you know, how do you eat a giant marshmallow? You know, one bite at a time is the answer. And so that's what I will do my best to answer calls as, you know, I can. That's it in my life. And I want to just precursor all that by saying, like, I'm not a do-gooder. I am someone who believes in service. I believe in a life of service. At the core of me, I do. I was raised religious. I'm not religious. But the thing I think maybe that I took away the most from being raised in a very religious home is acknowledging your brother and sister, and that we're all equal and we all matter, and we don't get to choose where we're born. We don't get to choose all sorts of luck. And so when we can and we feel compelled, we should heed the call to action. It is. It really is very developmental. And what I find interesting is, like, I think you go through seasons in your life. Like, you'll go through a season where you just want to read and, like, just you know, ingest every bit of, you know, information you can. And then you go through periods like, I'm exhausted. I just want to live out what I've learned. And I can really see that in my life, where I get really excited about, like, you know, my development. And then, because I think you develop to the day you die. And so I can see, and then I can see in my last solo album called Get to You, there were moments in there I just kind of want to have fun, you know, and be a little bit loosey-goosey with things and not think so much. And then you know, I look back at, like, A Color Moving and Still, or, you know, and I'm like, what? I was so young. Why was I being so serious? You know, so serious. And I think it's very interesting. But I do think that at the end of it all, and I am 10 albums in, including my work with my husband and, you know, a live album and a holiday album. I'm 10 albums in, and I really feel that each one it really does reflect just where I was at that time, and me doing my best as an artist and as a human being.
Projects outside, solo albums.
Yeah, I don't know.
Travel.
Now my son is an artist, finishing his first album. My dogs, all of it. It's like this crazy little empire, and it's not easy. And there's a lot of, it's easy to name things off, but there's a lot of emotion and emotional work attached to each one of those things, and investment, and it is hard. I'm somebody who believes in getting some sleep. Try to sleep. And I also believe in coffee and wine. and good workouts, and spending time in nature. And and maybe a massage every couple of weeks, a couple of months helps. I don't know. Those are a few things that help me get through. I mean, I guess, like I said, there are these like peaks and valleys, and there's periods of incubation. As an artist, as a human. I would like to just really focus on my work with my husband, because I believe that war mentality is something that exists in the brain, and I think that models of healthy family models in the home are what will resonate peace in the world. So I believe that peace begins at home. And so my husband and I are really excited about continuing to do our project and speaking to, love and healthy, good mental health that we get from each other, empowering each other, how to do that better. And we do it in our music, and we do it in events that we do together, so we're really passionate about that.